That is good. There, whatever. I need strings anyway. Fuck them. All right. I am ready to go. So welcome in, everybody. It is another arousing night of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. And tonight, maybe we won't get demonetized. Lon is not here because she has been sent to bed. I'm just
challenge accepted.
Listen. No one here can outrun me, and we know that is fact.
Yeah, but I've got like 60 pounds on you at this point, so.
Yeah?
Forces mass times acceleration.
Yeah, but you gotta be accurate. Gotta be accurate.
Do I though?
Yes.
Horseshoes and hand grenades, buddy.
Yeah, something like that. Speaking of horseshoes, everyone's favorite barn disassembler, it's Little Sharky.
Hey folks, I'm old. I bought a farm. I guess we'll get there. Let's have some fun.
Old McSharky had a farm.
E-I-E-I-O.
And on that farm there was an Oni.
I think I'm getting good at telling where these are going now.
Good.
I wish I didn't, but...
That's called PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, man. Anyway, I'm doing the same ass shit I was doing last week. Still working on models, at least except for this time. I'm like 85% done one of them. And today I made caramel for the first time, and it was really tasty.
Ooh, hell yeah, brother.
And it's gonna
You
go
ate
in the
reindeer?
cake that I'm gonna make tomorrow.
Ooh. I'm smoking a
Did you
pork
say-
butt tomorrow if you want to come over.
Did you say carabelle or caribou?
Caramel.
Oh, okay, right. Sugar. My bad. Sorry. Completely misheard you. I was like, I thought you were from Philly, not from Canada. But sure, go off on that reindeer, Chief.
Oh man, I made caramel.
Congratulations.
I'm proud of you.
Grab those hearing aids, old man.
What?
Speaking of hearing aids, Shy.
Yeah?
Good. Those are working at least.
Haha, I mean, they're supposed to. I mean, but then again, you haven't seen lawns. They're the size of Buicks, I swear to anything. Anyways, hi. I am Shy. I am an integral who likes to play video games. Such as Final Fantasy XIV, where I'm trying to do everything. Stardew Valley, and many other projects that I'm still stacking up like cordwood. You can usually catch me here Mondays for voice acting, and Wednesdays for Fallout 76, and hopefully by the time the new year rolls around, we'll have something else sorted. So yeah, let's have some fun and have some great times.
Old cranky man drives a Mazda. More at, well, right now.
Hi, I'm Chris Reeves. I lead the raid groups at Blitz in Final Fantasy XIV, and I've been streaming some Warframe recently.
You have.
New content is good.
It is. It is always good to try something new. Even if it means you're just warp striking into a wall for 3 hours.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I warp striked into a wall for 3 hours. Thanks for asking. All right, good random news story of the day. This will be a good one. Here, I'll demonetize us. A guest on Laura Ingram's show just said that trans people will create a new species that is part machine. And to be honest, I wish the trans people I knew were actually cool enough to do that. Like, seriously, that would be great. I want all of them to be able to, like, disassemble shitbirds. Like Terminator style.
Does she think that trans people pop a clutch to get into gear?
I mean, listen, I know something about pop starting an old Buick, but I don't know if that's applicable here. I don't even know if I'm applicable here. Anyway, once we last left off, I believe we had just started a new case.
Spoilers. Jesus.
Well, it's time for another trial to begin. This one is different.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Whoever wants it.
Sorry to bother you, but
Oh, it's Oni!
I'm any hot.
Are you alright, Apollo?
Ah! Was I making a scary face just now? Oh, hi, Juniper. Yeah, I'm fine. I was just doing my Chords of Steel exercises. Now I'm all ready to go.
Yes, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be just fine. Oh, I brought you a present from my garden.
You thicket? Is this a lotus root?
That's right. My grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. She even says that if you look through the holes, they can help you see into the future.
You
I
know,
can see the future.
I mean, I have a hole you can look into and see the future.
Do you know that fruit goes bad? In the future.
In the future!
It's for good luck. Maybe later you can cook it and...
Fuck it! Thanks for this. I'm gonna have some right now.
Oh my.
Mmm. Kinda tough, though.
You can't eat it raw. But thank you for the enthusiastic try.
You should go to bed now. Oops. No, if she didn't think me weird before, she will now. I've got to calm down.
Hello. I'm sorry I'm late. I was eating cookies.
Hi, Dina.
Junie, I didn't know you were coming today.
Oh, you'll see.
Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it. You sly little thing, you.
Dina, shut up.
Quit kidding around, Athena. The trial's about to start any second. Is everything all set?
Oh, Apollo. When will you ever figure it out?
Figure out what?
Care to try again, Sharky?
Wow. That was the longest sigh I've ever heard.
This is it. It's all over for me. They're gonna find me guilty.
This is our client, one Mr. Solomon Soul Starbuck, ex-Final Fantasy XII speedrunner. Oh my god, they even kind of look alike. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. You wouldn't know it right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and driven person.
It looks like Reverend Buzz Aldrin.
The scene of the crime this time happened... The scene of the crime this time happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I went there almost a little too much. But that's where we met Mr. Starbuck. We'd ask about space travel, and he'd launch into story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero.
You sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo?
Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're not the type to commit murder.
Thanks, but supposed to be in space right about now.
Is this man having a crisis?
I am a crisis.
He's so depressed, it almost seems like an act. Launch getting called off must have been a huge shock.
Probably never get the chance to go into space again, unless they launch my ashes.
Don't say that. Don't stop believing. Besides, you just have to go into space again.
Yeah, I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I rot away in a cell.
Hey, Terran, I can't believe he was murdered.
Starry
He was such a
lights,
promising astronaut under your command.
people.
And it's a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. No one loved life as much as him. That's for sure. I was so full of energy, telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." How could something like this happen to a guy like him? Hmm?
Never seen Mr. Starbuck so down.
Ellipses. Clay's gone. Going to prison. I could burn up like a shooting star right now.
Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine.
Huh? What is it? What's with the yelling?
I'll get to the bottom of this today. You'll see. In exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise?
Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence?
Fucking no, I don't.
Never mind.
Oh, well, yeah, about that. We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I'd have liked, well, thanks to the police.
Done for. Friggin' goner. Everybody thinks I did it. Thought I was gonna soar like a comet, but gonna crash like a meteorite.
No, don't say that, Mr. Starbuck.
Don't count yourself out yet.
I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you gotta keep going.
And what about you, Apollo?
What about me?
I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend?
No. Are y'all ready to go?
Apollo.
Trial is about to begin. If the defense would please proceed to the courtroom.
Okay, here we go.
This is it. This is the one trial I can't afford to lose. For Clay's sake and our clients, we'll find Clay's killer.
December 16th, 9:55 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. tried to be as sultry as law and it didn't work.
Hey, remember how we were just shitting on me for like absolutely ridiculous, stupid things?
Yeah.
Did you know that Schecter now makes a 7-string guitar that has a single coil in the bridge and a triple coil, or I'm sorry, a single in the neck and a triple coil in the bridge?
That
Sounds like a
bottom
waste of
girl.
copper.
It is. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, that's nuts. Chrissy, do you want to be the judge today, or how do you want to roll with this?
Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck. Are we splitting children today, too?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Mr. Justice.
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened to your eye?
Your wife squirted in it, sir. I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Good answer.
Are you sure I don't?
I'm fine, Your Honor. The defense is ready.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a sty.
I suppose it's something he doesn't want to discuss.
I already told you. No one's believing me.
Maybe he's entering a touchy age. Very well, and the prosecution. The prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence. Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet.
Prosecutor's only at half-mast.
The prosecution is now ready.
Where'd the hop come from?
Well, it didn't take him long this time.
Oops. What's up with Blackquill?
Now then, I shall give the opening statement.
Silence. I'll do it.
You will. What an unexpected surprise. You're doing your fucking job.
This time, I can't leave it to anyone else.
I see. Something's off with the two of you today. You both seem different somehow. Very well, Prosecutor Blackquill, your opening statement, if you would.
It was just yesterday. The crimes in question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center.
The famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology, right?
Astronomy. It's astronomy. Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from there. But at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site,
Oh no!
two explosive devices were detonated, and the launch was cancelled.
My word, 2 bombs? How dreadful.
The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One Mr. Solomon Starbuck. For whatever inane reason, he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in.
Yeah, that sounds like fucking something he would totally do.
Solomon Starbuck? I recognize that name. Isn't he the famous astronaut?
Correct, Your Baldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the HAT-1 rocket 7 years ago.
Tell
As
us
you may
about this
recall,
character
despite
if you're
some
still awake,
interstellar
Lon.
trouble, his mission was a success. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. I suppose you could say he's a living legend.
I remember now. He's become something of an international celebrity, right? They even turned that incident into a movie and everything. We've got a real space pioneer in court today.
But even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Returning to the subject at hand.
Yes, the victim was one Mr. Clay Kitaran, a subordinate of the defendant.
Indeed, a loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor.
Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death wasn't the result of the bombing?
Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant. Also, and so, he was sent not into space, but to the universe, which we mortals cannot see.
Clay!
I think I've heard enough. This case seems pretty clear-cut at this point. However, there's one thing I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand. What purpose does it serve exactly?
Since you asked so nicely, it's your coffin.
Ah. What the fuck, dude?
I jest. It's evidence. Due to its immense size, we've little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We shall get to the contents of the box in due time.
Ew, I feel like I just lost 50 years off my life.
Does he even have 50 years left?
Inner monologue, Athena. Inner monologue.
Enough jabbering. Bobby Fulbright's the name. In justice we trust.
Detective Fulbright. Very well then, please explain the details of this incident to the court if you would.
On it. First, take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center.
Wow.
In it, you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. Ah, here we are. For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of this building, take a look at this cross section that we, the police, have created. See the launch pad in the main building?
The launch pad is in the square building and the rounded structure is the main building, right?
Yeah, that's the. You know what?
You got it. The incident took place in the Launchpad 1 and the main building's lounge. I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it easier to understand.
Will it though?
I thought Launchpad was the pilot from Tailspin.
DuckTales.
Woo!
Darkwing Duck as well.
Hmm.
Details of the case.
Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom, boom! One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building, and one in Launchpad 1. Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were in Launchpad 1 at the time. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death.
A murder on top of a bombing. Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, correct?
Yep. Thinking he'd sabotage the bombing, the defendant killed him right there, then and there, in the rocket. Just look at this tragic photo.
Oh my, is that a knife in the victim's chest?
Yeah, why he kind of hot though?
Yes, Your Honor. It's the knife that cruelly ended this young man's dreams. We couldn't get any prints off of it, though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit.
Okay.
By the way, Detective Fulbright, why are the victim's helmet and right glove absent in this photograph?
We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all.
Yes, it'd be very difficult to identify him without a face or fingerprints. Now, there's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What is this round thing next to the victim in the photo?
That's their poop container.
Something so important to the victim, he took it with him as he escaped the launch pad.
It's his poop bucket.
A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case.
Are you sure about that? Like 100% sure?
He sounds pretty sure, Apollo.
Oh, okay. I'm sure we'll never see this thing again.
He's never been wrong before. I don't know what you're talking about. You're making a mountain out of a molehill.
Hey, thanks for the raid quality. How goes? How was your stream? I was having a good one. How was paper perjury? So, we know that the bombing in the main building was on the second floor. But where was the bomb that was in Launchpad 1 located? Welcome in,
That one
Raiders.
was on the rocket itself.
Howdy, kitten. And quality?
It was situated around the central part of the
Yeah,
rocket.
definitely. Definitely trying our best. Made some progress in
Apparently the
Metaphor
area
and
around the launch pad
put in a lot
elevator
of
was a
work for
sea of
Final Fantasy
flames.
15 today.
I would like to submit this diagram report into the record.
How the heck did you find this stream of all places? Yeah, what's up, Eden? Oh, this is a good one. It's been
Alice just
really
started
good.
and we're already in a bind.
No, you get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examination is for, right? What the two astronauts were doing during the bombing, that'll be key. They were fucking. Yeah, no, I've enjoyed these. We've been working our way through these cases for, oh god, well, this franchise for like 2-3 years now.
Just before this rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom, boom!
Hold it!
Well, how powerful were the explosions?
Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down.
Oh hell yeah!
But
It's
the room
honestly,
they
it's
went
been
off in
such a
was
fun
burned
way to
black.
get through it.
Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Due in large part, of course, to me stepping up to lead the evacuation.
Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright?
I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice.
That doesn't answer the fucking question.
Yes, it does. Shut up. I'll be there wherever and whenever people need my help.
I'll give you all the information on the cast. We are down Lon tonight, but otherwise we got a lovely crew.
I'd go to the other side of the world or even the edge of the universe.
When the rain starts to pour.
I'm not sure he knows how far that actually is. But I guess I'll leave that one alone.
Admiral decision, Justice Dono. Huh? What did he decide?
Yeah, anyway, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at that time?
The bomb cut the power to the central bank of elevators in the 3rd floor lounge. It was pitch black in there, I tell you. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on emergency backup.
And, how did the evacuation go?
I immediately and heroically, might I add, whisked people down to the Space Center's basement shelter.
So you weren't crying in a corner in the bathroom?
What do you take me for?
That's me in the corner.
In the basement shelter.
I think the judge is
Yes,
probably my favorite
there's an
character
emergency
the
shelter
entire
between-
time. He's always so fucking
beneath the Space
clueless.
Center.
An emergency shelter?
Yeah,
Oh,
welcome
here
in,
it is.
friends. You don't know me.
The
I'm
bottom of the
Kios.
diagram.
I generally speedrun RPGs. I cook. I ride motorcycles. I make music. I make art. I do it all, I guess.
The Space Center's pretty impressive to have its own shelter.
The power outage and evacuation seem unrelated to the murder at this point. Guess I'll leave that aside for now. So there were 2 explosions in total, correct?
Yeah, that's right. One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building and one in the launch pad 1.
Hold it!
So let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives?
Huh? Wait, what are you talking about?
If the defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket, he'd get caught in the explosion as well.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Fine, a simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright, the motive. Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia.
Hey, have a good night almost. Thank you for swinging through, and hopefully you have a nice, comfy night. Astrophobia? What's that?
A fear of space, naturally. Just the thought of space can cause the afflicted to freeze up.
Hey Oni, have I told you about my case of anal glaucoma?
I don't want to hear it.
You can't see this shit working out, can you?
Yeah, I just can't see my ass showing up for work tomorrow.
And so, in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute.
That's absurd!
Unfortunately for you,
it's such a classic.
we have evidence. Take a look at these.
What are they?
These anti-anxiety tablets were found among the defendant's possessions.
So he likes Xanny bars? That's a crime?
He has PTSD.
Apparently, he was taking them in secret to quell his fears.
Or to last longer in the bedroom. That's how SSRIs work, Oni. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors.
There were a multitude of problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck rode 7 years ago.
Yeah? Is that why he's on SSRIs?
No, it couldn't be PTSD.
Rumor has it, it threatened to crash a number of times as well. That was, of course, very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Objection!
But that doesn't mean he'd go so far as to blow up his own
Silence.
ship.
The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name, now could he? No, not after media had branded him Soul Starbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base mutt.
What? So that's why you think he resorted to the bombing?
Naturally, he constructed this act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the Space Center, which would effectively abort the launch, but spare his reputation. Now I'm sure you understand why we have to bring justice down on this atrocious criminal. I was about to say astronaut.
Astronaut.
Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were in Launchpad 1 at the time. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge.
Oh wait, shit, my bad. I autopiloted the shit out of that. Are you sure it was only the two of them?
It was just before the spaceship was set to launch, so, yeah. Duh.
Well, there could have been somebody else inside the rocket.
Silence.
The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front, there are precious few with the clearance to do so.
A fingerprint recognition device? It sounds like such a futuristic and complex space center.
Actually, it's kind of mid. Just take a look at this photo.
It is, in fact, not based.
This is the door in the lounge with the fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through.
I remember this part in Dead Space 2 where you have to pick up the captain's dead body with kinesis and smash it into the fucking bioreader. That shit was funny as fuck.
I see. It was very different from what I had in mind. It is there a record of the number of people who passed through the door yesterday?
Yes, there were only 3. The defendant, the victim, and the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos.
Well, then doesn't that mean it's possible the director was the one who did it?
Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28. Doing his job directing the launch. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts.
I mean, insurance fraud?
The two of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge.
Hold it!
So, while it would appear that the pair barely escaped with their lives, in actuality, one of them had already been murdered inside the rocket. That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct?
You got it. In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time. If the victim had been alive, he would have for sure tried to stop the bombing.
Is there any chance Mr. Terran could have been killed before he boarded the rocket?
They were both alive and well at the boarding time and embarked under their own power. Their hearts full of hopes and dreams of space.
And then both of their hopes and dreams were dashed.
If I may continue my explanation, after the evacuation order was given, the defendant made his escape, carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue. But after the escape, one of the two was found stabbed to death.
Hold it!
And who was the first to find the victim?
Actually, there were 2 of them. The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candice Arm.
This
Don't
lady?
say it. I don't say it.
This lady? Seriously?
One of them was a detective.
Yep. Detective Arm specializes in bombings, you see. She and the director were ordering the evacuation following the explosions. They were also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the boarding lounge.
This seems awfully convenient that a lady. Get a stick fit in your mouth! Ah! Got
He waited for me to drop my guard.
you. I did.
Yep. That's what you get for dropping your card.
Yeah.
That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant.
Brighton is correct, though. We do have to blame the Sagandis. 2 witnesses, huh? And one of them is a detective. How curious. I'm sure that's entirely irrelevant. I doubt either one would have anything to say that would help me, though.
I think that pretty much covers the details of the case. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the former was killed. If this is the truth, then only Mr. Starbuck could have carried out the crime.
What little I could get out of him only hurt my case.
Justice Dono. Foolish is the warrior who rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle, so I advise you take a gander at this.
What is it?
Footage from the security camera. As the 2 astronauts emerged from the bowels of Launch Pad 1 corridor. The boarding lounge security camera captured their desperate escape. Now, I would direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering. Which you can see is none other than the lifeless body of the victim.
What? What?
Bless you.
Order, I say. This lines up exactly with what the prosecution has been asserting.
I should have known Black Quill would have something like this ready.
Apollo. How exactly did they determine that Clay was already gone in that footage?
Ah, I see what you mean. Whether Clay was still alive at this point is pretty crucial. Your Honor, please take another look at the footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Terran was still alive here and that Mr. Starbuck was helping him?
Why, I believe you're right.
Silence!
Silence.
One man carrying the X, other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
Yeah, is that what we call it these days?
Silence.
Hey!
Perhaps that's what it looks like to a one-eyed hothead and a dotard. But it only makes sense if this is the victim's dead body.
What does that mean?
All right. Explain it to Justice Dono. You got it. Ready, kid? If the murder had occurred in the lounge, someone could have spotted it. Anyone can enter the lounge after all. But doing it while they were alone in the spaceship? That's a horse of a different color.
Objection!
But you can't deny that there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All that video shows is a man helping his fellow astronaut out.
Your assertion is based on emotion. It's based in your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciple. But you have no logical explanation as to why the victim could still be alive.
Uh,
Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution is right. Your argument is lacking in sound logic.
but it sounded perfectly logical to me.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further objections, I'd like to get on with my day.
Objections. Well,
Your Honor, the defense requests a little time to think and regroup.
Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need.
What is it, Athena?
It's just, there's something that's been bothering me.
Yeah, that's called a yeast infection.
If it isn't the defense stalling for time, as always. Very well, I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time.
Yes.
You have 5 seconds.
5 seconds?
After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed, and a verdict to be rendered. Your boldness. Raise your gavel high. It's time for a countdown.
Oh.
Ready?
We don't have time. Spit it out, Athena.
Only 3 more seconds.
Look, I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete.
Meaning?
Meaning there's something missing. Like they conveniently left it unexplained.
Something they didn't explain. Ah! You're right! I think I know what you're talking about.
Your 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument that you'd like to rebut?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there is. There is something the prosecution has yet to make clear to this court.
Well, if you put it that way. What is it the prosecution has failed to explain?
They have failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why didn't he just leave his body in the rocket? Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge when there's a fucking giant fuel-filled rocket that's exploding?
Well, that's true. I don't think we've heard the prosecution's thoughts on that yet.
That's because they don't have any. After all, how does one explain something so illogical? The prosecution is claiming, oh god, that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of that argument was wrong?
Let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice.
That's not my fucking job. I'm a defense attorney, not a prosecutor. The defense proposes that the defendant didn't kill the victim. He was helping him. Shuffle off this mortal coil.
Fulbright. Explain it for our sad friend here before I nod off to his monotone monologue.
Inform him exactly why Space Boy moved the victim.
Huh? You gotta be joking.
It's simple. Mr. Starbuck did what he did to direct suspicion away from himself. He wanted to create the impression he was heroically risked his life to save his partner. That's why he made sure to make it to the security camera so there'd be a record. At the very least, he appears to have achieved success with you and the old man.
Ah,
One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much, while trying to escape deadly flames. What a dramatic sob story fit for the silver screen.
Indeed, I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story.
You see? Yet the true ending is that all traces of his humanity were meant to be blown up. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion.
Objection!
What are you talking about? There was no third explosion.
yet.
Silence!
Indeed, you are correct. But that is thanks to Detective R. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. That steel coffin beside the witness stand. That would be a bomb transport case.
Hey, wasn't there a guy when we first started this game? Was like blowing shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wonder if
And
he's
The
Detonate.
same case.
I wonder if he's related. Well.
TE detonate.
We'll use that to transport the deactivated bomb here.
Why is there a fucking bomb in the courtroom? This seems
Evidence.
this seems really fucking unnecessary and very, very dangerous. What is the prosecution doing with all the money you collect with taxes?
You know, shackles. Buying new shackles.
Fair enough. I'm not here to kink shame, just kink charge extra.
It was found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy.
What?
One on the second floor of the main building, one on the launch pad, and one in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off 3 firework displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated, or had it not, the victim's body and other vital evidence would surely have been mutilated.
Objection!
Yeah!
Don't interrupt me when I'm talking.
It's like he's reading my mind. It's fucking weird. Hey, Black Boy,
As
you
it
wanna
is
kiss?
still undergoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that a peculiar item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets.
That's called a Tenga egg. He just wants to be a part of the 100 Mile High Club.
Specifically, a bomb detonation switch.
Found what?
A suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence. When the Space Center director and the detective arm stumbled across the murder. So he thought to hide it in his pocket. Feeble-brained that he is.
No! Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that. Ah, would you stop it?
Justice Dono, open your eyes and see the truth.
I only have one working eye right now, Chief. Honestly, it's kind of fucking homophobic of you.
This appears to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosives.
No, there has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth.
Still can't accept it. You'll believe in your client, come what may. Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself?
This has got to be a trap.
Also, you don't cross-examine the defendant as the defense?
Yeah, I know.
It's like Blackwell's controlling the entire game, and there's not a cat boy with purple hair pushing buttons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seemed to be like he was waiting for me to bring up the whole body moving issue.
Why do you say that?
Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out. And to really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down.
And making you cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of his plan too? Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him.
Now let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself, famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck.
Witness your name and occupation, please.
Solomon Starbuck, astronaut. How could this happen to me? I've made my mistakes.
Mr. Starbuck, you aren't looking very well. Will you be able to give testimony?
No.
Unfortunately, no was not the correct answer. You are being accused of the Space Center bombing and the murder of Clay Terran. Please testify with respect to these allegations.
Mind if I take the suit off? It's really heavy.
Silence.
It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but of your sins. Prepare to carry that weight for the rest of your life.
Finish me to the moon. I don't care anymore.
Wow, that was super negative. he gonna be alright up there?
He'll be fine. Yeah, I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is.
I didn't kill him. All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save the motherfucker.
So you assert that you didn't set off the bombs or murder the victim?
Bet you think I'm lying, right?
I reserve all judgment until I've heard your full testimony.
Yeah. Sure you don't believe me? I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut.
I don't think the judge doubts that.
Who'd wear a suit like that except an astronaut?
I will say, when I saw you in that movie, you appeared quite courageous, though I suppose reality never quite lives up to the fantasy.
Yeah. Guess I'm just a big disappointment, Judge. I really don't care what happens anymore. Ah.
Oh no, he's completely given up.
What a depressing fellow. If you were to join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sigh of yours would rub off on the other inmates.
Like how it rubbed off on Prosecutor Black Quill a second ago?
Huh? That was Blackwell sighing? Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction, though. The question is, what does that mean? Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client, I can't be gun shy now. It's time to find out the truth.
You have no depth perception. Do not shoot guns.
Meh.
I didn't kill him. All I did was put Clay over my shoulder and get us out of the rocket. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor.
Objection!
I think I grabbed the wrong report.
Your baldness. What do you make of this objection of his?
Well, I don't know if I should.
I have no patience for vagaries. Now answer my question.
Yes, sir. The defense's objection was clearly misguided.
Bravo. Nicely done.
Oh, it seems our misguided attorney has earned himself a penalty.
Ugh. Better not put the wrong input in.
Objection!
There we go. Mr. Starbuck, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible.
Was I not being accurate?
No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle level.
What makes you say that, Mr. Justice?
Please recall where the bomb went off in Launchpad 1. Also recall that after the explosion, the middle level elevator was engulfed in flames.
Oh, you're right. Which means... What does that mean?
That boy needs therapy. Exactly. The Launchpad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words, Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decidedly inconsistent with the facts. What's with the helmet?
Yeah, mission command. Mission command. Do you read me? Come in, please.
Objection!
This is Mission Command. I order you to pay attention. Stop this nonsense and answer my questions, Mr. Starbuck.
Yeah, my helmet. My oxygen tank. I'm dying. I can't breathe. Oxygen concentration and body temperature climbing. Requesting medical assistance. Yeah.
Oh my fucking god, he's fucking dead.
Mr. Starbuck, we are not in space right now. Please stop pretending you've lost consciousness and stand back up.
I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was on Earth.
I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck the astronaut.
Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than when he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement about how you used the middle level elevator?
I was nervous. Said the wrong thing. My bad. I actually took a different route, I think.
A different route?
I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time.
In this chat, ain't nothing straight, brother.
I'll get it right this time. Maybe? No? Probably.
Probably.
It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you that accuracy is paramount in court. And please, put the seat down when you're done.
My escape route.
Well, we'll get to it next time, kiddos. Ugh.
I'm on Dragon's Balls P.
Dragons D's Ball Z. Dun, dun, dun. Well, how we feeling about this case, huh?
Well, good start. Good start. Totally.
Yeah.
I feel like a space cadet.
I mean, this guy, nothing like a defendant absolutely lying to us and being like, oh no, send me to jail. I'm a murderer.
And I guess chronologically, we're still before the first case of this game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh well. I mean, we're trying our best, and that's what matters. But I had a good time. I hope you all did too.
Yeah, man. Always.
Yeah. Well then, I believe it is time for us to run the old outro. Give it up for the cast, as per usual. And the exact opposite of Philadelphia man, Florida man himself, Lil Sharky.
I get to be first on both tries?
Woohoo!
Oh, as the prophet once said, if you ain't first, you're last. Hey folks, I'm Sharky. I'm old. I haven't come back to streaming in a long time, but eventually I will. Maybe? Probably? Yeah, I don't know. Tell your loved ones just how you feel. Enjoy your holidays. Be kind to each other. And, yeah. Take it easy, friends.
Juan is not here tonight. However, we were graced with Shy.
It's getting ready to give me my cookies or something because I did such a great job tonight, and that's what she likes to do. But anyways, hi, it was great being here. It's always great being here, hanging out with a bunch of my best friends, and looking forward to doing it again very soon. If you're wanting to catch more of me and more of a certain bunny who couldn't make it, I'm pretty sure we'll be here for Fallout on Wednesday, where, hey, we'll be blowing up cars in the greater West Virginia area. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Thanks for tuning in, and hey, I had a blast.
Hmm. Speaking of blasting, Oni Heart blasting in the kitchen. My caramel prince. I'm gonna call you that.
No.
I mean, yes.
Well,
Who's my handsome little caramel prince?
At least it's not a caribou prince.
Elk is delicious.
Yeah,
But
boy
I
got
tried
run over
camel.
by a reindeer.
No, I can't say I have tried that.
My stepdad got it, and it's in the freezer. We haven't tried it yet.
Interesting. You'll have to tell me how that is.
Yeah, what you
Oh.
planning to do with it?
I think we're gonna make a stew out of it because that seems like the thing you should do with camel.
Huh.
Camel? Yeah, probably. Very tough meat.
Well, in terms of my goings about, still working on stuff, I'll be looking to return to streaming maybe next month.
My fingers are crossed for you.
I believe in you.
Yeah. Hopefully with new models that are going to be done soon-ish.
Sick.
Well, last but not least, oh, I already used the grumpy cat line. Everyone's baldness, it's Chrisseries.
Hi, I'm Chris Reese. I lead the raid group with Final Fantasy 14. And I've been doing Warframe recently, although I might get pulled back into RPG long plays. We'll see.
I believe in all of you.
That's a mistake.
Yeah, I know, right?
Old strategy. Let's see how that goes.
Ohio is not allowed to decide anything. They sniff way too much glue and don't know how to handle things sharper than butter knives and safety scissors.
That's tragic.
I mean, to be fair. Yeah. We can ban. Oh, you know what? We can take Ohio and New Jersey, smash them together, and they can have their own state that's not part of the U.S.
Can we give them Idaho too? Did you hear that bullshit?
No, I probably don't want to either. I'll probably read it before bed and get really mad about it and then have to poop. You ever get so angry you just have to poop?
No.
No. Always.
Attaboy. Alright, you ever get so angry you pop a boner, though?
No.
What the fuck is wrong?
Always.
Thank you! Pre-sent.
Quit encouraging him.
Alright, well, anyway. This is a reminder, this weekend I will try and get a graphic together for it tomorrow. But this Saturday, I have the usual holiday shenanigans where I just give away a bunch of games, and I have a lot of art from, like, basically I bought commission slots that I'm giving away. I focused on a lot of queer and BIPOC creators, so there's lots of good art available for you. You, the viewer, you, the listener. All you got to do is like show up. That's literally it. But yeah, that'll be this Saturday. Give you all the usual. There's the Discord if you want to hang out. If you want to aggressively ping Oni, this is the place to do it. Actually, you can't, I don't think. If you do, I'll ban you. If you want to catch up on this playthrough and any of the other fucking mistakes that I've made on stream, there's the YouTube. My wife crochets, 3D prints, sews, makes bone jewelry. Check that out. And if you want to support the silliest of cat boys, or our porch cats, or our house, or the cooking streams, or fucking whatever, there's a stream wish list. Anyway, dancing is forbidden. We are gonna go and say hi to somebody. And we're gonna go say hello to Wody. Y'all don't know Wody, fabulous speedrunner. He's working on Rebirth. But yeah, we are off tomorrow, and I will see you all Wednesday. All right, we're gonna go say hi to Wody. Any final words before we depart?